My dear friends, today we bring you an incident that will make your skin crawl. This is a story that will shake your heart. A fragile girl, shivering and gasping in the pouring rain, stumbled into the hut of an old fakir. What that arrogant and cunning fakir said and did to the terrified girl will leave you astonished. This forest was no ordinary place. It was a desolate and frightening jungle, where in the silence of night not just people, even animals feared to set foot. In that very lonely forest lived a nearly 60-year-old fakir, known far and wide as Baba Rahmat. Despite his frail body, his tall frame and piercing eyes still carried a certain aura. For many years, he had built his hut in this remote wilderness and spent his days in solitude. That it was a night like no other midnight, with a terrifying atmosphere all around. The wind in the jungle howled with an eerie sound, thunder roared in anger, lightning tore through the sky, and the heavy rain made every tree tremble. Baba Rahmat, as usual, sat inside his hut, sometimes lost in deep thought, sometimes softly humming to himself. Suddenly, a knock at the door shattered the silence. Not once, but again and again, someone kept knocking, as if desperately begging for shelter to save their life. Baba Rahmat was startled. Who could possibly come to this desolate jungle in the middle of the night? He quickly got up and opened the door. For a moment, his eyes froze at the sight before him. Standing there was a breathtakingly beautiful yet terrified young girl. Her clothes were soaked in the rain, and she was trembling. In her eyes was a fear so intense, as if some great danger was chasing her. Baba Rahmat took a deep breath and spoke in a gentle voice. "Child, who are you? How did you come alone into this jungle at such a night? Outside there's a storm, darkness, and heavy rain. Where have you come from, and whose protection did you rely on?" Baba Rahmat asked. Shivering, the girl began to speak. "Babaji, my name is Noor. I am a resident of Nurpur village. Some cruel men from there were chasing me. They had evil intentions toward my honor. They wanted to harm me somehow. I managed to escape with my life and ran straight to your hut." Worry lines appeared on Baba Rahmat's face, but without asking further questions, he opened the door wider and softly said, "Child, do not be afraid. Come inside. No one will be able to harm you here." The girl, gathering what little courage she had, stepped into the hut. Her wet clothes clung to her body, and her face bore clear signs of exhaustion and fear. Baba Rahmat brought her an old cloth and said, "Here, take this and cover yourself. Sit down. Don't be afraid. Now tell me everything. What exactly is going on?" In a trembling voice, the girl began to speak. "Babaji, I am the daughter of Farad the cobbler, a well-known man from Nurpur. A few days ago, my parents left this world. Since their passing, the behavior of some men in the village has changed. At first, they looked at me strangely. Then they began to make gestures, and now they openly threaten me. They say that if I don't go with them, I will suffer harm. They see my weakness. They have started to consider me an easy prey. That is why, to save my life, I ran straight into the jungle and ended up here." Baba Rahmat quietly listened to every word. No visible shock appeared on his face, yet a hidden question was clear in his eyes. He looked deeply into the girl's eyes and began to wonder, has this girl truly escaped from some great danger, or is there another story hidden behind all this? The girl sometimes gave a faint smile, sometimes adjusted her wet hair. Every gesture of hers carried a strange air of mystery. That delicate young woman sat with an old fakir inside a shabby hut, while in the corner, a dim lamp flickered, making the entire scene even more dramatic. Baba Rahmat had lived alone in this desolate jungle for many years, but tonight, for the first time, his silent night was broken by the presence of an unfamiliar girl, and everything began to change. Along with compassion, an odd restlessness stirred within his heart. He tried to keep himself calm, yet inside him a storm of questions raged. Suddenly, the girl spoke softly. "Babaji, I am very afraid. Outside, there's only darkness everywhere. May I spend the night here in your hut? I will leave as soon as morning comes. Will you give me shelter?" Noor's trembling voice broke the silence of the hut. A new emotion seemed to awaken in Baba Rahmat's heart. The light in his eyes deepened, and a faint smile appeared on his face. In a gentle tone he said, "Child, there is nothing to fear, no matter how stormy the night may be. This hut is your shelter. You may stay here in peace, outside." It was still pitch dark, and the heavy rain showed no sign of stopping. Nur slowly stood up, went to a corner of the hut, and lay down. In a soft voice, she said, "Baba Rahmat, my eyes are getting heavy. I feel sleepy." As soon as she closed her eyes and lay down, a strange turmoil stirred within the old fakir's heart. After so many years of silence, his heart suddenly felt alive again. His heartbeat grew restless, and his gaze became fixed on Nur's calm, sleeping face. That night, the old fakir seemed no longer a fakir. He became just an ordinary man. The weight of long loneliness screamed even louder in Nur's presence. Yet, he held tightly to the rope of patience. Every moment felt like an eternity to him. In his mind, questions echoed. How will this night pass? How will I escape this? Silence. At last, Baba Rahmat went to the other corner of the hut and lay down. He closed his eyes, trying to call sleep to him, but sleep seemed offended and kept its distance. Baba Rahmat tossed and turned all night, struggling to calm his mind, but his heartbeat only grew louder and louder. The emotions he had suppressed for so many years now seemed unwilling to remain under control. Suddenly, Nur's sobbing broke the dreadful silence. Baba Rahmat jolted upright. He saw Nur slowly crying, tears rolling down her cheeks, her expression filled with a dark, unbearable pain. The fakir quickly sat beside her and spoke gently, "Daughter Nur, what happened? Why are you crying? What sorrow is so deep that your tears will not stop?" In a broken, hiccuping voice, Nur replied, "Baba Rahmat, what has happened to me? It is not easy to put into words." Hearing this, Baba Rahmat was stunned. With a look of astonishment, he said, "What secret is this, one that cannot be spoken to anyone? If you wish, tell me. Perhaps I may understand something." Nur looked straight into his eyes and slowly said, "Baba Rahmat, I am not what you thought. I am not an ordinary woman. I am a tainted, fallen soul." It was as if thunder struck the fakir's heart. He listened in shock as Nur continued, "I am not just any girl. I am a lost spirit." Hearing this, Baba Rahmat felt as if his feet were rooted to the ground. His lips went dry, and in a trembling voice he said, What? You're truly a spirit. This is impossible for me to believe." Nur softly replied, "Baba Rahmat, I knew you wouldn't believe me. That's why I will tell you the story of my past life." Nur slowly began to speak. "This was a long time ago, in our village, Bishnapur. By the side of a pond stood an old banyan tree. We girls used to fetch water and bathe there. One day, after everyone had left, I was alone. It was then that I saw a strange, handsome young man beneath that tree. He wanted me. He said he wished to marry me. Since childhood, I had heard that a shadow lived under that banyan tree. At once I realized this was no human being. It was that very shadow. From that moment, even his name became hateful to me. But he was relentless when he saw that I would never agree. He used magic. Under the spell of that magic, I fell completely into his grasp. Against my will, he married me. But what he truly wanted was that I should belong to him from my heart. He could not force my feelings, yet he desired that I would willingly come to him. Even on our wedding night, I kept him away. After that, his nature changed. He began to beat me when my body was nearly half dead. He said to me, "You will die, but your soul will never find peace. You will only find peace when you unite with an old man." Hearing this, Baba Rahmat's chest trembled. A storm of fear swept through his heart. A dreadful thought struck him. Perhaps Nur had come to him only to fulfill that curse. Could it be that Nur has come to me just to break that terrible spell? The suspicion struck his mind like lightning. And indeed, Nur held his hand and whispered, "Baba Rahmat, I am not lying. If you do not accept me tonight, then my soul will wander this jungle forever. I will never find release." The fakir's whole body began to shake. Sweat dripped from him. The girl he had thought to be helpless and innocent now claimed herself to be a fallen spirit. He stared at Nur with frightened eyes, yet her beauty, her enchanting gaze, still seemed no less than that of a celestial maiden. Nur spoke slowly, "Baba Rahmat, it's only for one night. If you stay with me, my soul will be freed." And your night will also become blissful. The fakir's heartbeat quickened. His body was drenched in sweat. Before he could speak, Noor moved closer, her breath mingling with his. Suddenly, a terrifying sound echoed outside the hut. Baba Rahmat ran outside in panic. He saw a monstrous jinn sitting on the branch of a huge tree. As soon as he noticed it, the jinn began to take human form and advanced toward him. In fear, the fakir turned to Noor and shouted, "Noor, who are you really?" But Noor gave no answer. Her face sank into silence, as if lost in another world. Meanwhile, the jinn drew closer. Its eyes blazed like burning coals. Trembling, the fakir spoke through chattering lips. Who are you?" The jinn roared. "I am the one who sent Noor to you." Hearing this, the fakir understood everything. It had all been a trap. The jinn had enslaved Noor and was using her to deceive Baba Rahmat. Filled with anger, the fakir shouted, "Your black magic will not work on me. What did you think, that sending a beautiful girl would deceive me?" The jinn laughed and said, "You had already strayed down the wrong path. If Noor had not called herself a spirit, you would have succumbed to the flood of your emotions." The fakir looked at Noor with a mixture of shame and sorrow. She sat with her head lowered, tears of embarrassment floating in her eyes, thinking about the grave sin she had almost committed. The jinn roared, "Now you have fallen right into my trap, old fakir." The elderly fakir closed his eyes and silently thought, "How can I escape from this danger?" Then he opened his eyes, looked at Noor, and said, "Look into your heart and ask yourself, what were you about to do? I have never wronged any woman in my life. Then why did you want to destroy the struggles I have fought for years, battling the evil within my own soul? Look within yourself and understand, why were you doing all this?" As the fakir spoke, suddenly the jinn roared and shouted, "This old fakir, now nothing can be done. Time has slipped away. What destiny has written will now come to pass." At that moment, Noor looked at the fakir trembling and said, "Baba Rahmat, I no longer know what is true and what is false. I only believe this much, that somehow my restless soul must find peace." The elderly fakir replied in a gentle voice, "Child Noor, the path to peace is never easy. To extinguish the fire within, you must discover your true self. The battle of a lost soul is one you must fight alone." He closed his eyes and slowly continued, "This struggle belongs to your soul. No one else can fight it for you. This is a war you must face alone." Hearing this, Noor seemed to awaken suddenly. Slowly closing her eyes, she whispered, "Baba Rahmat, perhaps you are right. Now I must fight this battle myself." Then she opened her eyes and faced the terrifying jinn, roaring, "Yes, I am ready." Noor stepped forward. Fear no longer touched her face. Instead, it shone with courage and determination. She reached out and tried to overpower the fearsome jinn. The jinn tried to stop her, but by then, it was too late. When Noor's hand touched the jinn, a terrible storm erupted in the sky. The wind's intensity grew so strong that the entire jungle began to shake. The jinn screamed and flew into the air, desperately trying to save itself. But this time, it was over. A power awakened within Noor, an inner strength capable of freeing a lost soul. She was no longer dependent on anyone. With her own courage, she set out to destroy the jinn. The jinn wailed and screamed, but in Noor's eyes burned only the fire of vengeance and an unyielding determination to bring peace. Using all her strength, Noor seized the jinn and with a final, decisive blow, tore its soul apart forever. Instantly, the jinn vanished into smoke like fire. The storm ceased, and calm light returned to the hut. Noor opened her eyes and saw the old fakir standing before her. His face bore no anger, only a peaceful smile. Blushing, Noor lowered her head and said, "Baba Rahmat, I was about to make a terrible mistake. You saved me from that jinn's trap. I am truly grateful to you." The fakir smiled simply and said, "That was my duty. Guiding a lost soul to the right path is true service. Now you are free. Go wherever your heart wishes." Noor stood tall, with peace in her heart. Her eyes shone with courage and the light of a new life. She stepped out of the hut. This time, her footsteps no longer trembled. Instead, a cool breeze of freedom flowed around her. She walked along the jungle path where a lost soul never returns. Friends, The lesson we can learn from this story is man's true battle is not with others, but with his own fears and weaknesses. If we learn to control our mind, no devil, no trap can deceive us. Remember, no matter how sweet evil appears, its outcome is always destruction. But if the heart is strong, even the darkest path can turn into light. Friends, these stories are not incidents from the Quran or Hadith. They are inspired by real events in our society, and we have shown, using Quran and Hadith, how such situations can be resolved. Let us know in the comments which country you are watching this video from. Friends, if you want to watch more Islamic stories and educational videos, subscribe now to our N Moral Stories YouTube channel. See you in the next video. Until then, may Almighty Allah grant us the guidance to stay on the right path. Ameen summa ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.